Today, the tire meets the road. We're going to show you how to create Facebook ads the way we do it ourselves. There are so many options when it comes to Facebook ads. You can set it up so that people message you, or you can set it up so that your posts get a lot of likes, or you can set it up so that more people visit your website. And then there are the hundreds of combinations of what to write and what pictures or videos to include. The options are endless. I won't walk you through all of the possible options. What I'll do is to zero in on what we do ourselves to give us results. Hi everyone, I'm Edmund and welcome to Rise of the Small Potato, a series where we'll talk about marketing, writing, photography, how to make your customers happy, and so much more. Everything you'll need to run a successful small business. Let's start, shall we? Okay, there's a simple way to place ads. You can go to your page, Facebook page, you can click on promote and you can place basic ads. But I won't be using that option today because the ads I'm showing you is a bit more special and gives you so much more control in being able to fine-tune the performance of your ads. Go to facebook.com/ads manager. You'll be greeted with this screen. Click on create on the top left side and this choose a campaign objective pops up. It's best if you're doing this on the desktop. Actually, I'm not even sure if you can do what I'm showing you on the phone. So do it on your desktop. Wow, so many options. I just want to make an ad, you might be saying. So let's demystify these things now. Let's start with setting up the campaign objective. There's a reason why Facebook asks for your campaign objective. Because we're all different and we all have our own little eccentricities and behavior quirks. Some of us, we scroll through Facebook and we give a thumbs up to very, very few posts. While some of us like everything we see. Some of us, when we see an ad, we never click to visit an external advertiser's website. While some of us are so curious that we click on all the links. Some of us avoid watching videos, while some of us watch video after video after video. So what Facebook does here on this screen is to try to figure out what your advertising campaign objectives are. If your objective is to bring people to your website, then Facebook shows your ad to people who are most likely to click to visit your website. With Small Potato, we've tried to place ads with the traffic, engagement, video views, and the messages objectives. But when it comes to getting people to buy, usually they all perform pretty poorly for us. That is, except for the traffic objective. And when we bring people to our website, well, obviously people are more likely to buy. Everything else just didn't perform as well. So go ahead and give it a try and let us know what you find. In my opinion, if you're trying to get people to buy from you, your best chance is to bring people to your website or your landing page, where people can read about you, what you sell, look at your pictures, salivate, then decide to buy. So whenever you're trying to improve sales, I would use the traffic objective and get people to visit your website or landing page. This doesn't mean that the other objectives don't work. It just means that when we tried it, we just didn't get the results we wanted. Maybe it's different for you. For this demonstration, I'm selecting the traffic objective for my campaign. Then I'm going to name my campaign. When we name our campaigns, we like to use a campaign that describes the objective. So when you look back at the results, you know exactly what you're looking for. And when you're experimenting with ads, you're going to be placing many different types of campaigns or ad sets. So naming it to make it obvious what it is goes a long way in helping you to figure out what works and what doesn't. So we name it something like traffic to Small Potato because the objective is traffic. I like to number it as well because in the future I'll be duplicating this campaign again and again, assuming it's successful, of course. And then I'm numbering it so that it will give me a working running number to work with. Only you can see this campaign name. On Facebook, when they see your ads, nobody knows what you're naming your campaigns. So don't worry about making these campaign names catchy sounding, because no one else but you can actually see this. Actually, for any of these three tiers, the campaign, ad set, and ad tiers, only you can see these names. So I won't name the ad set yet, and I also won't name the ad yet. Why? Because their names will depend on who I target, and the theme of the ad, which is in our experimentation phase, will be changing many times. So we'll name the ad sets and the ads after we decide who to target and what ad concept to try. Okay, let's move on. Click continue. Now you're brought to a new screen. On the left, you'll see your campaign, ad set, and ad. Notice that they are in different tiers. I mean, they're not crying. Oh, that's so lame. They're in tiers. The highest and most overarching tier is the campaign tier, which we've named the Traffic to Small Potato 1. The tier below campaign is the ad set tier. This is where we'll set the budget for our ads and who we're going to target with our ads. The third and final tier is the ad tier. This is where we'll be creating your actual ad. This is where we'll make your ad look, feel, and sound attractive to the audience that you've chosen to target. The reason why they arrange in tiers is, under a single campaign, you can place 1, 2, 3, or more ad sets. And under each ad set, you can place multiple ads. Let's look at an example. You want people to come and buy your yoga course. To do that, on the campaign level, you're telling Facebook to please send traffic to my website. On the ad set level, you're targeting people who are interested in yoga. On the ad level, you're putting pictures of stretchy, bendy people, and you're writing to appeal to yoga enthusiasts. Okay, let's get back to this ad. On the campaign level, I've already told Facebook that I want to drive traffic to Small Potato. I wouldn't worry about these special ad categories. Chances are this won't apply to you unless you're a political or civil rights activist. And I won't be telling Facebook that I'm doing A/B testing, because I can always set up my own A/B testing later. If you're new to marketing, you might be wondering what A/B testing is. That's testing if ad option A or ad option B are getting better results. So, A or B testing. I also won't worry about campaign budget optimization because I usually monitor my ads for how they perform once every day. So before bad performing ads can drain my bank account, I already notice and I disable the non-performing ads. I think checking it once a day, it's good enough and it's good practice. Now let's go to the ad set tier, which is right below the campaign tier. Within a campaign, you can create many different ad sets. For example, you want to drive traffic to your website and you want to target the yoga audience and the fitness audience. So 2 different audiences. You want to see what brings you better results. So you create 2 ad sets under the same campaign. Ad set 1, ad set 2. Again, one targeting the fitness audience, one targeting the yoga audience. Yoga practitioners. I'll then set my budget. Please set this to the minimum when you're just experimenting and just starting out. And the minimum is around 5 ringgit a day or 1 USD. What I like to do is to set this to 25 ringgit. Why 25? Because I run my experiments with 5-day cycles. I place my ad on day 1, monitor this every day, stop the ads if results look horrible, and if I don't touch it, the ads will finish on day 5. I'll look through the results of my ads on day 6, mull on it, in the shower, kind of figure out what to do next. And I'll improve the ads on day 7. Then I'll repeat the whole cycle all over again. Some people use faster cycles. They try for 2 days and decide from that if they want to continue. What I find is that, yes, if you have an ad that's doing really horribly, you can stop on day 2. But I've seen middling, okay performing ads bordering on not good. That on day 3 suddenly improves, and on day 5 becomes a really good performing ad. So unless the ad is like really crap and really bad, I like to wait for a bit. So spending 5 ringgit a day makes it cheap enough for me to actually do that. If you find that an ad is performing really well and you see that your sales is going through the roof, well, then obviously you should spend more on your ad, because in that case, the more you spend, the more money you actually make. Which is why we measure the results and measure the return on investment. So, 25 ringgit for 5 days. Start day, time. Put this one a little bit in the future, maybe a couple of hours later, because you'll need some time to set up your ads after this properly. Set an end date, time, which 5 days, around 5 days later. Now for your audience targeting. Who do you want to reach with your ads? Since Small Potato is mostly centered around cities for now, I'll target Petaling Jaya and people living or have been living within a 10-mile radius. The minimum radius is 1 kilometer. The radius setting is really useful if you're selling perishables, things like cakes, home cooked food, soy milk, tau fu fa. This is really useful. And the reason why you want to make a radius quite small near you is because the closer your customers are, the more money you save. Your neighbors can come to your place to collect your goodies themselves, so no delivery fees. You can drop off your goodies yourself, or if you want to use same-day delivery services like Mr. Speedy or Lalamove, they're really cheap when your customers are near to you. And if you're selling to neighbors, they are also much more likely to bring their own containers, so you won't have to use single-use plastics, again saving your money and the environment. So if you're trying to sell perishable goods, I'd seriously give the smallest radius setting a try. 1 to 3 kilometers. For age, I like to target an audience that isn't too young, because very few young people are actually on Facebook. And depending on what you sell, they might not have the purchasing power. Why? Because they're not on Facebook because their parents are on Facebook. For my purposes, I like to target 23 to 50-year-olds. It gets quite a bit more expensive to target more senior people. And again, this depends on what products you're selling. Some, are geared for younger people or older people. Yes, these ads can also go to Instagram. Then again, I find that the age group of not too young, not too old gives the best results. I'll target all genders. I mean, unless you're targeting a very specifically gender-based product like facial cleansers for men, then of course choose a gender. But interestingly, most of the people opening up Small Potato ads, which are centered around food and homemade items, are women. But because it doesn't cost me more to target men, it's just not, right? On a dollar basis, targeting men and women, no difference for us in terms of cost. So I just leave this option to all genders because, why not, right? Detailed targeting. This is where it gets interesting. This box asks you for who you want to target, a demographic, interest or behaviors. If I'm selling a yoga membership, I will of course target a yoga audience, but it doesn't have to be that direct. You can target by proxy too. Here's what that means. If you're selling yoga memberships, you can also think, what do yoga members also love to do? Or what do they gravitate towards? You could try to target vegans or people who like organic food perhaps. So you're not targeting yoga directly, you're targeting by proxy. I like to target one audience or group of audiences at a time. Although I do have an audience I call responsible citizens, which include people who are interested in recycling, social work, charity, and that combination works well for us. But I try not to mix too many different demographics or interests at a time, simply because well, I need to find out who is actually engaging with my ads. And if I mix too many people together, then I actually don't know who's actually engaging with my ads. So in an experimentation phase, I like to target one or just a few different audiences within the same ad set. And then, I'll run multiple different ad sets for different audiences. Then there's a checkbox that asks if you want to reach people beyond your detailed targeting selections when it's likely to improve performance. I don't like to check this box, especially in the experimentation phase, because Facebook doesn't actually tell me who they're targeting to achieve the results that I'm actually looking at. So I can't learn who to target in the future to improve my ads performance. So I keep this checked off. I keep the language by default. You can save your audience here as well, so that you can use this audience for your future ads. So you won't have to recreate it from scratch every time you place a new ad. I'm usually selecting automatic placements. It makes it easier when I create my ads later. I'll explain why in the next video. Optimization for ad delivery. If you have installed Facebook Pixel on your landing page or website, you can use the landing page views option. If not, it's fine to use link clicks. If your link is a website, well, technically it's the same thing anyway. And in Facebook Analytics, you can select for outbound clicks to see who clicked out of the ad to visit your website or landing page. I don't worry about cost control because, you're monitoring your ads every day anyway. And I'll leave the other options alone. Now that I've set up all the options, I make it a habit to name my ad set with a name that makes sense and describes the ad set, so I can easily track and remember which targeting strategy performs best when I'm comparing it, after the ads finish. So now your campaign and ad sets are properly set up. Woohoo! In our next video, we'll show you how to create an awesome looking ad that will make people curious and want to click to visit your website or landing page. If you found this video useful, like this video and follow us, because that will help other people to discover this content as well. Till next time, take care of yourself and take care of others.